Hello, 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 and welcome into Iron Sharpens Iron by Bear Claw Media. I am Chris Bolin, and I am joined by two of the oldest chairs in Greeley. But lucky for me, the guys filling those chairs are two of my favorite people I've met in my time covering UNC. Zach Bloch and Quinn Denker. Fellas, how you guys doing?
Doing great. Start of the season next week, so we're just gearing up. Just happy to be here on the pod.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Just trying to savor these days, man.
Yeah.
Make the most of them.
Yeah, so what we have this is Inside Baseball. It's Friday, October something here. Got a game coming up November 3rd. Last night was the Roundball scrimmage. Zach, what'd you have, about 90 in that one?
I don't know. Man.
About 97. Jeez.
And it felt like every three you took just kept
Getting
moving
further
back.
and further. 100%.
But nice. Yeah, I saw 35, and that was with like 3 minutes to go. And the game winner. I mean, it was probably a little manufactured with the scoreboard, but
For sure. But hey, we don't want to talk about that. All we know is you went 15 for 17 from three or some absurd like that.
Didn't happen.
You're too humble. It was funny. Jacob and I were watching that, and we were like, "Damn, Zach needs to save some of those."
Yeah.
It's not a thing. I do remember Quinn blocking me off the glass, though. Do you remember that?
I don't.
I remember that.
I don't know if I
vividly.
remember that.
I might have just blocked that off out of my brain.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all. All I remember is Zach just making a lot of shots.
I remember you just absolutely putting your shoulder down into him with malice. You're looking like you wanted to hurt
See,
him out
I
there.
do remember
agree,
that.
I do agree with that one. That was
No, guys. Just for the record, all fair and game, official refs, whatever. I'm not going to say what I think about them or anything like that. All I know is that was one of the most atrocious calls I've ever seen in my life. But you know what? Zach, when he's done playing basketball, he's going to be on Broadway. That's what I know for sure.
No, it's a good. You could tell you guys have been playing against each other for a while.
100%.
Yeah. It's an everyday thing.
Yeah,
At
It
this
is.
point,
He'd been saving that one too because he knows he can't do that during practice, or he knows he can't do that during open gym, and so I swear he was saving it.
I was. As soon as you caught the ball, I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, I'm falling. I already told myself that.
Oh gosh, dang it!
Another thing I noticed that was normally I'm like, why can't the refs wear shorts? The refs looked ridiculous wearing shorts. Maybe that's just one of those, I've watched so much basketball, but it felt I don't need to see their knees out there.
It felt like AAU.
Yeah,
100%. No, yeah, it was a little. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it felt a lot like AAU out there actually.
But nice. Let's move back. Wyoming, you guys played. That would have been about a week from tomorrow, I guess. Close one. Sounds like it was an ugly game, kind of on both sides. What'd you guys kind of take away from that?
I mean, Quinn played amazing in that game. 32 in that game? Quinn went crazy, but no, we took a lot from it. There's a lot that we need to get better at. Obviously, just being more detailed on the defensive floor. And then offensively, we didn't shoot it great besides Q. Q kind of carried the offensive load. So I think, I'm looking forward to what we can take from that game and improve upon. So.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. I think it's good to get games like that out of the way now, where we know, like in that setting, like obviously we have a lot of respect for Wyoming. We think we were the much better team. And so just to be able to see that, we made so many mistakes and still it was only a one possession game. It's like couldn't make a shot the entire night, couldn't make free throws the entire night. And then all of a sudden it's a 2-point game when all it came down to was one rebound, And so it's good to be able to see that and see like, okay, these are measurables that we chart and stat and be like, okay, we eliminate some of these mistakes. We eliminate some of these scout mistakes. We, finish a 50-50 play. We win the game by 10.
Okay. How's the team kind of shaping up so far? You two and Brock are kind of the core three, it feels like, and it sounds like outside of that, it's who kind of plays the best around that nucleus. What forms what shapes the team taken so far,
I think our team, it's a good problem to have. We haven't completely figured out who is going to be in at what point in time. We don't know what the rotation is. We don't even know what the lineup will look like sometimes, but what we do know is we have a lot of talent, a lot of depth. And so it's, a game like last night was big, just an inter squad scrimmage in front of donors. It's a cool opportunity to play in front of our gym and get acclimated, but it's also an opportunity for the coaches to be like, okay, let's split hairs. Let's figure out who's going to get the minutes. So we're still competing like other teams. They know who their starting lineup is going to be. They know who's going to play all the minutes. We're and that's a good problem to have. We got guys fighting every single day in practice, just like going at each other, and it's awesome. Makes for great practice, and we're becoming a better team because of it. Now we just, we are, like you said, our first game is November 3rd. So we've got to start figuring those things out here soon, but it's a good problem to have.
Okay. What does practice look like between now and November 3rd? It's Christian or college?
College.
Yep. Colorado College. I imagine not really digging into them yet, because similar to that Wyoming scrimmage, that's not realistic for mid-season.
Yeah, we kind of lock into the team that we're playing 2 days before the game. Mm-hmm. So we won't do anything talk about Colorado College at all. It'll just all be about ourselves and game.
Okay. And what does a Steve Smiley practice look like? I've been to a couple in the summer. I don't think I've actually made it to one like in season. I imagine it's fast, probably a lot of 5-on-5 if summer's any indication.
I'll tell you exactly how today's practice is going to go. It's going to be all about us. We're going to implement things that we didn't do well in the scrimmage yesterday and implement it today. We're going to start out by doing some just shots. I'm going to probably shoot some half-court shots. Smiley's going to walk around, make jokes, make fun of different people. Probably May's going to say, I've been in college for 8 years. It's his favorite joke. Then he's going to ask me if there's gluten in some random thing. Then we're going to stretch. Then we're going to do a ball handling drill. Probably my guess today is Hall of Fame. Yeah. DG runs that. Mm-hmm. Then right after that, we'll break him into guards, bigs, breakdown. We'll probably do DTB finishing because we missed a couple layups last night. The bigs will probably do the same thing, some sort of finishing drill. Then we'll come together. We'll usually do early offense where we'll go over different plays. Then we'll move in probably into some sort of live. It will probably progress between 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5. He may want to do some transition offense and defense drills also. Then we'll go do his favorite free throw drill. And it's super fast paced. Your water breaks are like 10 seconds. Then we're going straight into another guards bigs breakdown. We'll probably do undershooting because Zach had about 23s yesterday off undershooting. So we're going to just keep repping that out. And then we'll probably go right into 5-on-5s, maybe a grid. Play against each other. I'm feeling a grid day.
I am feeling a grid day.
Maybe some 3-ball. I'd love some 3-ball.
Maybe 3-ball the whole time.
3-ball for an hour straight. Smiley, if you're listening, 3-ball for an hour straight. Yeah.
Okay. What's grid and 3-ball? 3-ball sounds more fun, if I had to guess.
They're honestly both really fun. 3-ball, I think, is just something we need to work on. Basically, 3-ball is like a ball screen coverage drill. Just ball gets thrown out onto a wing. Coach takes the ball. There's a guy in the corner, the two wings and the top. Basically, the ball gets thrown out to one of them, and then the big sprints up into a ball screen. So it's just emulating ball screens from different areas. And then it's an offensive and defensive drill just to work on ball screens, but then also work on ball screen coverages. Yeah. And so that's just a great drill.
Grid is just like Smiley draws up this grid, right? So he has we'll do 3 possessions of half court offense, defense. Then we'll flip, and then we'll go half full. So we'll play half court, go down, come back down, and then it's 3 possessions. So it's just like he'll change the coverages on defense, and we'll run different plays that he'll have drawn up, and it's just a way to play 5-on-5.
Yeah, whichever team wins the most possessions wins the game.
Yeah, controlled 5-on-5.
Okay, nice. You've only really been under Smiley, right? He already took over by the time you got here.
Yep.
Is that different from you've been at JUCO, D2, and Idaho? You have a kind of the whole gamut. Is that similar to how other places have done it, or is it pretty unique how Smiley runs a practice?
So Smiley reminds me a lot of my junior college coach. We did a lot of similar stuff when I was at West Valley playing for Coach Yoshikawa. It was a little bit different when I was in Division II, and it was a little bit different from when I was at Idaho. Some different kind of drills, but I really like Smiley's practice. They're super fast paced. They help build your cardio, which helps us during the game. We know that our guys traditionally have been able to play longer minutes, and we usually win that cardio battle, especially we're at elevation too. So just, that's a huge advantage, I think, is just the way we practice and the way we prepare, I guess.
Okay. And kind of forgot where I was going here, but where was I going here now, actually? With actually, I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? This is the worst thing I could do as a host and pitch it directly to you. But
hey,
I remembered. If
hit me.
I want to get you guys in trouble because I saw the Big Sky men's rankings, or both men's and women's rankings, and all conference team came out.
Yeah.
I think I was putting too much stock in those random 80 follower Twitter account put out a preseason poll 3 months ago, but it felt like every single one of those had UNC 7.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I was like, what are we doing here? That feels disrespectful. But then after, I think I probably talked to you guys about it. I remember Smiley's mentioned a few things like good, let them kind of doubt us.
Yeah.
And I think I had twisted in my head where I was almost disappointed that you actually came in third in the real polls. But yeah, I believe Montana, Portland State, you guys, then Idaho. So how do you see, as vague as I can be, how do you guys see kind of the conference shaping up this year, especially with so many unknowns?
I think there are a lot of unknowns, like you're saying. We don't know exactly how Sac State's going to be. We don't know about all these other teams that have gotten so many transfers. But I think this year is going to be a good year for the Big Sky. I think a lot of the teams are really good, and it's going to be a competitive year.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see where it shapes up. But the preseason stuff, we don't care about that. Nobody actually cares about that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it matters at the end of the year, the postseason, what it is, the post all conference teams.
100%.
Those are the things that matter, not what you haven't done yet.
100%.
People predict you to do. So
yeah, and if you're worried and all hyped and about the preseason polls, you're front runners as far as I'm concerned. But it's because exactly like Zach said, all that matters is, and for us, we got third. We didn't even talk about that one time. And we haven't addressed it. We haven't talked about it one time. It's more something that we can post on our social media account and then just be it. But for us, it's more about, all that matters is once we get in between the lines, what team is better, who's better than what, So yeah, because even if you look at the past couple of years also, all the preseason all conference teams are completely different than they actually end up being. All the preseason, the rankings and stuff, always completely different than they end up being. So you can't really put any stock into that. Yeah. You just kind of got to go hoop.
We were 7th 2 years ago, and then we finished second.
Ninth. Predicted ninth and then finished second.
Exactly. That doesn't mean anything.
For sure. Yeah, it feels like it's for me who needs something to talk
for
about.
Sure. For sure. I'm already knowing, yeah.
So no, that makes sense though. So what, moving forward, what is it how do you guys approach the preseason, not preseason, but the non-conference slate? It feels like it made a little bit more sense just with the rhythm of it last year, probably a little longer of a Christmas break, but how much of that is what you said, still figuring out rotations, figuring out who the guys are versus, maybe towards the end you kind of got to figure it. I ask you guys, I know these are kind of Smiley's decisions, but I imagine you have some sort of input and it's everybody's involved in it. But how much is figuring that out early versus we need to kind of know what we have and move off of that?
Well, I think it's we look at last year. Tayshaw didn't enter the lineup until January or February?
Because he's back.
Yeah, because he's back. So there's injuries play a lot in figuring out roles, but at the end of the day, we might not have our lineup until January, February.
Yeah.
Somebody can beat somebody out every single day. So, I don't know. Do you have anything on that?
No, I think you hit it on the head. It's kind of just we're trying to figure that out as soon as we can and figure out what kind of team we're going to be and what our identity is in certain areas. And obviously we want to continue to grow in every area. But like Zach said, certain days, some guys are going to, someone's going to figure it out eventually, and then they're going to become an everyday guy, and then they're just going to carve themselves out a role. We become better as a team the sooner guys accept what their role is, when they almost define it for themselves, and they take a step back and look at our team and be like, okay, what does our team need right now, and how can I be the person what our team needs? The sooner guys start doing that, the sooner our team will be solidified and when guys will have roles and we'll have an understanding of when people will go in and who will play at what times and stuff like that.
I always think of it like overconfidence being the issue. Maybe somebody comes in, especially at the portal, they think, hey, I should be getting 25 minutes a game. How much is the opposite of that play out sometimes, where maybe it's a guy who you're like, this guy's talented, we need him, but maybe he just doesn't believe in himself the way we believe in him, or maybe he's still just, it's all new and he like nervous. And how much do you see much of that too on like kind of that opposite end of the overconfidence issue? Don't have to name any names, obviously.
No, I won't name any names, but I'll just use my own experience as an example. Like I've been at a different school, like we were talking about, for a couple of years, and each for their own different reason. But every time you go to a new school, you're having to learn a completely new system. You're having to, rebuild the trust of a new coach. You're having to rebuild the trust, or like just build trust with new teammates. Mm-hmm. Your teammates and coaches, no matter what you did the previous season, have to learn what you're capable of on this team, in this system, mm-hmm. defensively and offensively. And so you have to have like a strong sense of confidence within yourself to know like what you're capable of. But then you also have to be able to come out of yourself and understand, like I was saying earlier, okay, what does this team need from me? Mm-hmm. And then once you're able to do that and accept your role and then get on the floor, then eventually by earning minutes and getting on the floor, there will be specific moments when then you can come out of your shell. But as far as someone going into it like with not a lot of confidence, it's really hard. And I just don't think it's a recipe for success. I think you got to have a sense of belief in order to come into a new system. You got to have faith. You got to have faith in yourself, but you also got to have faith in a higher that to know that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. And you just kind of got to go let it rip every single day and just go as hard as you can. Let God take care of the rest.
Yeah. I feel like for me, just going off what Quinn's saying, my role has changed every year at UNC. Like my freshman year, point guard off the bench, played about 10 minutes a game. Second year, redshirted scout team, had to, help the team in any way I could on the scout team. Third year, sat in the corner, shot threes, played defense. And then, that role just elevated the year after. But, the biggest thing that I learned is exactly what Quinn's saying. Like, you have to die to yourself. Like, you have to die to yourself daily and do what's best for the team, But at the end of the day, you also need confidence. And that's the line that I feel like I had always struggled with in my life. Like, I want to be unselfish. I want to be humble. I want to help the team. But I don't want that to affect my confidence. You know what I'm saying? So you need a mix of both, like Quinn is saying. Be humble, die to yourself, serve the team, but also have confidence in the abilities that God blessed you with.
I also think too, like that was a huge reason why our team last year was so successful. We had 8 dudes that played, 9 dudes that probably would have started on every other team in the conference. And that's why we were so good, is because we had guys that were super talented and capable enough to be like the first, second option on other teams. But then, for here that we had to die to ourselves to understand like, okay, we got to be a part of something bigger, So I think the sooner, like Zach saying, the sooner you can just look in retrospect and look at the team, be like, okay, what does this team need from me? How can I be the best I can possibly be in this role? Mm-hmm. Kind of the Klay Thompson effect. Then you'll flourish.
Okay. So yeah, then how's some of that shaping out this year? Because you're probably in a similar, please correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I see, you're in a similar role, a bigger workload this year, probably more responsibility. You're moving from off the bench to probably the point guard. It's not the traditional just dribble it up and set everything up every possession guy, but and then Brock is where he's at, and then it feels like Brock may even slide to the 4 at times, Egan at the 5. So how are some of these roles shaping up? Are we looking at that 8 so far, or we still have probably maybe 10 or 11 to narrow down to 8.5, 9? Or how's it looking at the moment?
I think, well, just speaking on behalf of me, Zach, and Brock, all 3 of our roles are probably not even going to be what they were last year at all. Okay. Our roles have all grown exponentially. Just like, we saw what Zach did last night, but like, that's how he is every day in practice also. Like that's the kind of player that he's put himself in a position to be. He's a super unselfish guy. And so like the last couple of years, he's probably stayed within himself and died to himself in order to be what's best for the team. But we all know that's the kind of game he's capable of having any given night. And then also me and Brock, we've expanded our games a lot in order to be the best players that we can be for the team. So as far as us three go, like we really expanded our roles. And I think it's too early to know right now that how guys are going to accept their roles, just because, we haven't also defined them yet. So guys are going to have to start figuring it out on their own. Like last year, a couple of our guys just kind of figured it out on their own, and that's why they flourished. But yeah, I think it's too early to tell right now. And as far as like cutting down, like where our numbers in terms of our lineup is, I think it's too early to tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, the most important thing is stacking days.
Yeah.
So, you could have, play great one game, and the next game you don't bring that same mentality. It can hurt yourself. It can hurt your role. It can hurt the team. So I think every single day is important in carving out the role that you want and the role that coach wants for you, because, coach wants everybody to excel, right? He loves us as people as he does, on the court. But at the end of the day, like if we don't accept our roles and try to fulfill them, Smiley always says, like, what is it? Know your role, accept it, and then fulfill it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those things are, like Q's saying, it's going to come in time. And
good Smiley quote. Yeah.
Try to throw as many in there as I can.
For sure.
But yeah, over the season, it's going to take some more time.
Okay. Who's going to score more this year out of you two? Oh, that's a good.
He already has. So he can't point at me. He already has.
But hey, that scrimmage last night.
It's a scrimmage. It doesn't matter. Who cares? It's a scrimmage.
He had about 90 points. Oh no, bro.
Okay. Who's probably with the Bears system? It feels like it's not like one guy's going to have the ball in his hands. Brock's probably going to touch it as much as you two on any given possession. But yeah, who's the offense run through? Because last year it felt like it was like Isaiah could almost do like the MPJ thing, which could be positive or negative, where he could get offense outside of the system, it felt like. And then you two, Langston, Brock, Egan, everybody who kind of rotated in, it felt like, but it felt like had a good chemistry. But then obviously like Langston kind of has the ball a little bit more than a couple other guys. So who's the focal point of the offense this year? Is there one? Is it?
I think the strength of this team is that we have so many weapons and we can play together really well. The way our system's built is, we have to play off of each other. It can't be just one guy, ISO on the wing. Like we don't have Dalton Connect. We don't have Dalen Kuntz. You know what I'm saying? And the way that we play is so like we play an unselfish brand of basketball, and we all, it's our shot, not my shot, not Quinn's shot, not Brock's shot. It's our shot as a team. And I think that's the way that we approach the game. And, we're learning to connect better and growing our chemistry game by game, day by day. But I think that our offense is very, very much together, and we play off of each other really well.
Okay.
Well said.
Nice. Then, kind of moving away from basketball, we're kind of flopping all over the place here, but, are there any guys you wouldn't expect on the team where you're like that? He's hilarious. Like he just makes me laugh. Like even just meeting
Chancellor White. Yeah. Chancellor White is the easiest answer in the world. He's easily one of the funniest human beings I've ever met in my entire life, like without trying. And honestly, it's funny because he genuinely doesn't even know. Like he'll ask you, why are you laughing?
Yeah.
Like, why are you laughing at me? And it's like, dude, because you're hilarious.
I love, like some people, just the way their brain operates. It fascinates me, and it's so funny.
100%.
Yeah.
Like we'll be in Bible study, and we'll just be talking, we'll be having great conversation. Out of nowhere, Chance just comes in, and he's going to be a reverend or something someday, but
for sure.
Just, I can't wait to watch him give sermons at some point in time, because the way he just speaks is so relatable, but he just delivers. His delivery and tone switch is by far and away one of the, like, I've never seen anybody else with that kind of delivery and tone.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
You could sit there and listen to him talk all day
About anything.
Yeah, about anything. Like he's a knowledgeable guy. He's real. He's relatable, like Quinn's saying. And then he's funny. Like everything he says is just funny.
Yeah.
And like he said, he doesn't even know. He's like, the other day he was like, I guess sometimes I say funny things because you're always laughing, but I don't even notice it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just that guy when it comes to that.
Okay. Who's I think I may be sitting with one of them, but who's like the dad of the team? Because you two are two of the oldest, if not the two oldest on the team, right?
The dad, it's easily Brock Wisney.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like now, like we're like two of the older guys on the team. With the same thing with Ibu and Will Humor, but Brock's easily the dad of the team. He's always like, in weights, he's always there. He's like, "Did you do all 4 sets, all 10 reps?" Like that's Brock Wisney, and
Q,
he's like,
"You better not be skipping any reps, Q.
Q, are you supersetting again?" Or he'll just, he's making sure you're eating all your food, making sure you're getting things in, making sure you're behaving well. It's Brock.
Yeah.
He's the dad of the team for sure.
Okay. Then who's like the baby where everybody's kind of like, I don't want to say like patting him on the head, but they come in with like a refreshing, like almost naivety or, it's like wholesome.
Who's wholesome on the team?
Well, maybe
There's
that's
a different question between who's the baby and who's wholesome.
Okay. Who's the baby? Who's the baby then?
I think it's Steve-O. Ram. What you think? Ram for sure.
I just don't know what do you mean by baby?
I think like the most like he's kind of naive, kind of just like learning it all, just kind of like happy-go-lucky.
Oh,
like,
yeah, Steve, for sure.
Yeah, Steve-O. Like, this kid is the funniest dude I've ever. Oh, he's hilarious. I love Steve, and he's gonna be a really good basketball player. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, once he stops going under Zach Bloch, like he'll be a really good basketball player. I'm telling you. But he's just, he's really funny. I remember there's a story with Steve. He showed up to a weight room one day, and just like, Coach Payne has only 2 rules. It's usually just like wear UNC stuff and be 5 minutes early. Those are his only 2 rules. Where he showed up 1 minute early and he was wearing like a red shirt from high school. And so obviously we had to run. And so we were doing conditioning that day. And while we were running, he like missed a couple lines, and Will Humor was like letting him know. It's like, "Hey Steve, you're missing some lines, touch those lines." And then Coach Payne asked him after, he goes, "Hey, Steve-O, did you miss any lines that whole entire time?" So he was like, "No, Coach." Oh my God. Coach Payne made Steven watch all of us run. How many 55s? 2 of them?
Something like that.
Something crazy. And it's just like, that's just Steve. He's a funny kid, but he's grown a lot from beginning to now, and really changed himself into a really good basketball player. So he's going to be really good, and he's going to be a bear of the future for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. He's going to be a big piece. Like, even like he could still carve out a role this year. Like, it's so open. We never know what's going to happen. But Steve's one of those guys that, he defends pretty well.
Yeah.
And he can shoot the ball
shoot it
crazy. Like he's a sniper.
And really athletic.
Yeah.
He's a sneaky bounce.
Yep.
Like he dunked. Who'd he dunk? He dunked Egan.
Ooh.
Sorry, Egan. In an open gym earlier this year, 2-foot punch. I'm like, yo. Like this guy he can get up. And it's crazy too, because he just came off a knee injury from high school. Mm-hmm. Yet he's got this insane bounce. I'm like, yeah, okay, this kid's legit. Mm-hmm. And he's gonna be really good.
Okay. Who don't we know about? Who's like, I know there's 8 new guys. Between the pod I do, when you came on, we talked about a few. So I'm sure we've highlighted some guys, but who's like, whether it be a guy where he's just a cool guy, or somebody that you're like, he's going to play a lot and you guys aren't ready for it. Who kind of should we know about?
I got one. You go first, though. Just don't steal mine.
It's a loaded question, too, so hate to do it
I
to you.
think the name that people should know is easily Tanner Brachita. Easily. He's actually one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life.
Easily.
And he has his head on straight. Like, he's about all the right things on the court and off the court.
Yeah.
Super wholesome guy. Just, he brings like a, what's the word I'm looking for? He brings like a
joy.
Just like a pure joy.
Like a joy to our roster.
Yeah.
But he's also just like, he's kind of an old soul for being only a true freshman.
Yeah.
Like I love hanging out with Tanner all the time. Me and him just got lunch the other day. Like he's just an awesome dude. Like nothing else to it. Like when I like talk to Tanner, it's not like I'm talking to an 18-year-old kid that just graduated high school. It's like I'm talking to a seasoned veteran.
For sure.
And he acts like that on and off the floor.
Yeah.
He's going to be really good. Like Tanner, like it's same thing with Steven. Tanner has a huge opportunity to carve out a role this year as a freshman. So I'm really excited just to see what Tanner can be. Cause even in high school, right. He was high school so long ago, but when he was
how do you think I feel?
Yeah. When he was a freshman in high school, he, was averaging like 18 a game at Ralston.
Yeah.
So like he's the kind of person who's not afraid of big moments. And so I'm really excited to see what Tanner Burkita is this year for us, but then also like what he's going to be in the future.
Yeah. He definitely brings a maturity as a 18-year-old kid. Like he's going to be he could shoot the ball like crazy. Like every time he lets it go, I think it's going
100%.
That's how
100%.
But yeah, whatever role he fits into this year, he's going to fulfill it.
Yeah.
And I know that. I believe that with my whole heart. So
for sure.
Okay. How hard is it to come in and just play as a true freshman? Because nobody did it last year. So it feels a little foreign to me because I've been paying attention, but that's when I really like immerse myself. But you did it your freshman year. Like how hard is that adjustment?
I mean, it's hard, man. Like no matter how it goes in practice, the game is completely different. So like I could play really well in practice, get into the game, and it feels like a whole nother game. So you kind of have to make that adjustment too when you start getting minutes in the real game. But it's hard because you have 4-year guys. I had 4-year guys in front of me. They've been there, their whole career, and they've already made an impact on the floor. So to be able to carve a role, I think that, the coaches really value. You got to figure out what the coaches really value and try to excel in those areas. So like winning plays, defense, talk, energy, bringing joy to the team. Those are all things that the coaches really love. So I just tried to fit into that mix.
It's kind of the same recipe as like a transfer coming in, that we were talking about earlier. It's like as a freshman, the older you can get in your mind, just because knowing the way the game is now, it's a lot of older people like me, Zach, Will, and Ibu are all 23 years old. And so you got 4 dudes on the team that are all 23 and you're an 18-year-old freshman, 5-year gap. Like how can you catch your mind up to where we're at, where we've had 4 or 5 years of experience, but then also, be mature enough to, like Zach's saying, to understand what our team needs and try to be that.
Okay. And how much is there more of a difference between high school to JUCO to D2 and D1 on the floor, or is it more
100%?
Okay, or more is go off of that.
There's a huge difference. The at least where I was at, because I was at 2. There's a huge difference in every single level that I've been at. When I was at junior college, we were a very good California junior college, which is a little bit different from national JUCO. But we were good. We were in the state championship. And so we also, I feel like my JUCO experience may have been a little bit different than others, just because a lot of junior colleges, they play 12 dudes, sub them in, 5 out kind of thing, and then just press, run and jump, do a bunch of things. My program is run kind of like a college program was. We played 7 dudes, and our coach was the former coach at St. Mary's. And so we just kind of ran it like a college program did. So that prepared me a lot for the next step. When I was at Division II, my Division II school was one of the best in the country. We were ranked top 25. We made it to the D2 NCAA tournament. We were one of the top ranked teams, and we're really good. And in my opinion, my Division II team was a lot better than bottom half teams in the Big Sky.
Okay.
We were like my CCAA conference, like the best teams from the CCAA conference could 100% compete against some. They could definitely beat low majors, but then it can also beat some like lower half tier teams of some mid major conferences for sure. Division II basketball is nothing to play with, especially nowadays with the portal and everything. Sometimes guys don't find homes, or whatever the reason is, or a lot of guys just kind of get lost in the sauce and then end up having to go somewhere. Or, this is a funny story. The team that my team could not get the hump, or we just couldn't beat a couple times. We played them 4 times, only beat them once. And they ended up beating us in our league championship and in the D2 tournament with San Bernardino. And their whole starting lineup was West Virginia transfer, Arkansas transfer, Portland transfer, Wyoming transfer, and Santa Barbara transfer. And that was like their starting 5. So it's like, okay, that's literally a Division I team, And so that team would have easily beaten, name like some other teams. And so would my team. My team was really good too. And so that's just Division II is nothing to play with. Like, people don't understand how good of a level of basketball that is. But then even going into Idaho, like Idaho is a very big difference from what Northern Colorado is. Just like different levels. How you prepare, how we practice. We were kind of talking about that earlier in terms of Smiley drills and how practices are run. Idaho is run very different than Northern Colorado is. So it's a different adjustment everywhere you go, for sure.
Okay. And then how much different is the stuff that I wouldn't have thought about 2 years ago? But like D2, I imagine JUCO, I'm sure you're busing everywhere. D2, I imagine you're probably on a bus most places. So when you come to Idaho or UNC, it's a flight everywhere, a bus ride down to DIA, then a flight. Is that something you don't think of before you kind of make your way up? Or you were probably more aware with your dad having coached D1, but like, how big is that behind the scenes difference?
Well, I mean, it is a big difference. Now I'm different, like with my food stuff. So I always think of like food, I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, and I have a weird thing with sugar and a bunch of other weird things. But I like the food and the travel was always a big thing when we would go on away trips. So like when I was in junior college, we'd bus everywhere. My head coach was always like, would make sure our assistant coaches would have like a separate meal for me, and he was great with it. Well, then I'd move to Division II, where actually my Division II had less money than my junior college did. And so we were bussing everywhere, and we would only fly to like the SoCal or to the NorCal games, because we were in SoCal, we were in San Diego. So we would fly to the NorCal games, and the food was harder to come by. It was a lot harder to come by. And so I had to really adjust, pack food, bring snacks. Travel was just different. But then even Idaho, like you said, we bus to Denver. When I was in Idaho, you bus to Spokane, and then you fly out of Spokane, which is an 1.5-hour drive. Same as a little bit farther than from us to Denver. But yeah, it's just kind of a different thing. And I didn't realize until I was finally immersed in it when I was at Idaho, how much of a difference it would be. Idaho has a lot of money, and so they were able to help me with that kind of stuff. And then obviously coming here. So yeah, it is pretty interesting. And you don't really think about it because I wasn't around like growing up and stuff. Like obviously I had my dad and got to be with him, but even then, like I wasn't really immersed in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're getting a little short on time. So you're off the hook for all the gambling questions I was going to ask.
No gambling.
Red Kingdom.
None.
Red Kingdom.
Oh, bang, bang, Niner gang, man. Oh.
But kind of to close here, I feel like the outside perspective of UNC doesn't have the most money. It's kind of in a tough spot because every road trips, you can't bus, where I'm sure Idaho to Eastern Washington, that was just a bus ride. Like the partner here is Northern Arizona, and that's a flight and a bus ride. But then also,
that might be the craziest one.
Yeah.
Really just a bus ride up that hill.
Oh my gosh.
That mountain's like, what, 3 hours from the airport?
Yeah.
Ooh.
4 hours, something like that.
3 hours from the airport. 2.5 actually. Yeah.
Okay. Well, but then I was talking to Ring, and he said at Kansas City, he would walk into their like D1 basketball gym, and there'd just be like students playing fives, and he just couldn't get work in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So like,
that's how I was when I was at Division II.
So I feel like UNC does have some things that it has going for it. So like, what, I guess there's not really a question in there, but like kind of what are some of the things that UNC does right in that regard, whether it be just natural advantages or stuff that the coaching staff and administration have been like, we have to make sure we have this available to the guys?
Man, I just think that they take care of us really well at UNC. I think that it's gotten better over the years too. With our snacks in the locker room, the food in the weight room, having an aux gym that we can access whenever, the main gym when we can access whenever. It's very easy to get in the gym for extra work. And our coaches do a great job of, Coach DC, like, works with us every single day. He's always available to work us out and help us with whatever we need. CG, Colin Goss, also really available for us. They do a great job of taking care of us, and there's nothing that we can really complain about. We have it pretty good at UNC.
Okay.
I can promise you we have it great at UNC. Just being at different places, the one area that UNC excels in is from top to bottom of the department, they absolutely take care of student athletes.
Yeah.
Just like just in the classroom alone. Like, I remember being at different school, like when I was at San Marcos, could not care less if I was an athlete or not. It was like, and it made it hard, because that was the hardest year academically I had in college for sure. Just because, like, you're expected to show up. Obviously you have to show up to class and do all this different kind of stuff, but no leeway on assignments for travel days, nothing like that. Like, we'd have those papers, they wouldn't even read them, and so that was kind of like the huge difference when I came here, is because even when I was at Idaho, we had that super nice the super nice basketball arena, but could never get in it because they'd always be renting it out for concerts or using it for other things, and different conferences or whatever. So it's like, what's the point of having this super nice gym if you can't get in it? So, like, just here, you can get into the facilities at any point in time, whenever you want to. Like you said, the resources, the people are always there. Mm-hmm. And they're always there to support you for whatever you need. And so there's a reason I came back for my second year. It was like, I just want to be around these people as much as I possibly can again. So I love UNC for sure.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you. This has been Iron Sharpens Iron. We'll be coming to you once a week here during the season. Fellas, seriously appreciate you doing this. This should be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
What's the socials? Anything you guys want to plug before we hop off here?
Yeah, so if you guys want to follow Splash Disciples on Instagram, it's where me and Zach, we started an Instagram account that basically is endorsing athletes that want to share the gospel. So if you want to learn more from athletes and their experiences and their testimonies and just everyday things that they learn about how they've been in their walk with Jesus, then go follow Splash Disciples on Instagram.
All right.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.